For me, I think it's the opposite, because I heard that last year after my Arnold's performance that Tom's not got it, he's not as hungry because he's at the top. And for me, when I seen that, I was just like, shit, let's win it. You know, like, that's me. That's when the mindset changed. I said to her that day, I texted her saying, look at this, look at these keyboard warriors. Let's just go win World's Strongest Man and make a statement. And I did that. So I honestly think me being at the top is I'm more hungry being at the top, because I've got all these guys trying to fight me to get this title, and I won't give it up unless I'm dead. And I think that's what pushes me. If I'm chasing somebody else, it might not push me as much. And I think you've seen the fight with me and Novikov this year. Like, Novikov was 3 or 4 points in front, but I knew mentally that he's going to make a mistake and he's going to drain himself out, and he was the one chasing the wolf at the top of the mountain, and that was me, and I ended up winning it again. So I think me being at the top of the mountain makes me just as hungry as I would be if I was climbing, or even more hungry, and that's what it came from last year. You know, I seen someone wrote that under my comment, and I was like, yeah, you little keyboard warrior, let's see what happens then, and it shut them up. You know, I don't heard from them since. So, but yeah, I think you see that with a lot of sports, like you said, not everybody that's achieved something at the top, and there's always people behind you that are chasing you. But for me, like, that's why I don't have my trophies around me. You know, I'll only have my trophies around me when I stop competing, and then when I'm complacent on what I've done, that's when all the trophies will come out, and they'll be more kind of visual to myself. But right now, yeah, I feel like I'm not World's Strongest Man because I don't have that trophy beside me. So I'm still always hungry to be the World's Strongest Man. So.
I love that, but you know people are still chasing you because you're the best.
Yeah, and that's again what gets me hyped up, because you know you want to be going into World's Strongest Man 100%, and you want the other competitors to be 100%. So if they're seeing me pushing, I want them to push even more, and I want like the best 30 to have a big army to come across, and it's me versus 29 people. Let's see who wins, you know.
When I met Tom, his mindset and his visualization was one of the most powerful that I've ever seen it. 2 years before he won World's Strongest Man, he knew that he was going to win World's Strongest Man. In fact, it was around 3 years before he won World's Strongest Man. But not even that, he knew how he was going to win it. He was going to go, the year before, he was going to go runner-up and stand on the podium. The year after, he was going to win it. And for me, Tom's mindset of visualization is some of the strongest. And as he's put it down a lot to his autism, because he has to think in concrete ways. He has to believe that he's going to win. So Tom's autism has given him the strongest type of visualization, because he cannot conceive that what is in his head and his outcome is that will not come to fruition. If we can empower that, if we can use something in that exact same way to believe it so strongly that if it didn't happen, something went wrong. If it didn't happen, it's not the reality that's supposed to happen. If that was our realization of visualization, if that's how we used visualization, we'd all be extremely successful in using the tool of visualization. Today's video was made possible at Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Memento Mori poster. It's a poster to remind you that you are mortal, an interactive poster that you color in as you go along, and it's the biggest motivational tool I have ever used. Use code STOIC at checkout for 10% off. But before that, one of the best in the game of visualization.
For me, one of the biggest things that I've seen with you since the last 3 years was that it was a superpower for you, in the way that everything you genuinely believe that you are capable of doing, you literally achieve it. But it's almost like a limiting factor. So like, you need to believe you're going to win. And if you believe you're going to win, you're going to win. 2020, you said you was going to come podium at Worlds. And then you came podium. 2021, you said you was going to win. 2022, you said you was going to win. And like, it's not even that, it's like Britain's Strongest Man, you called it. Like, all of these competitions, like, people talk about Conor McGregor, like Mystic Mac, but like, the way in which you've predicted to win is so uncanny, especially with, I think 2019, or whichever it was, you said you was gonna get to the finals. So like, the concrete thinking and the belief that it's gonna happen for you, once you believe it, that's it. As long as you can get that self-belief, how hard is it to get the self-belief? Like, we're going into 2023 now. It'd be a three-peat, one of the first Brits to ever do it, or the first Brit to ever do it, and one of only 3 people to ever do it, and probably one of the youngest. Like, so it's a very, very tall order of three-peat. How have you how have you gained the belief that you're going to do this now?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously, the thing is, I have to take confidence from the last 2 years. I think, when I say I won World's Strongest Man, I think I've dominated the last 2 years. Even in 2020, I look back at, like, before I won it, and one mistake cost me the title. So that's how I kind of picture World's Strongest Man, is like, I believe it's my event, and it's my it's my title to lose, and I believe that, like, out of all the strongmen in the world, that I'm the best at this kind of 4-5 day event. So it's just it's more just I just trying to draw a picture in my head and go, and just kind of always visualize, like, me being on top of that podium, and that just keeps me motivated. And that's why I never put trophies in my eyesight, because if I had trophies in my house, and like someone said to me, you're going to win it in 2023, I wouldn't believe it in myself, because I've already done 2. So I was like, why do I put my body through for the 3rd? But yeah, it's just, as long as I have a plan, and I have sitting visual saying World's Strongest Man written in front of me every single day, that I know that what I'm striving towards. Because if I don't have a goal, it's really hard for myself. And yeah, my goal is to obviously win 3 in a row, and I think if I win 3 in a row, I could probably say that I'm one of the greatest at World's Strongest Man to ever do it. And then, yeah, to be in that kind of, Bill Casmere and Magnus Van Magnussen have done it, to be with those 2 guys would be unbelievable. But yeah, I think it's just, like I said, you said concrete thinking. When I have a goal, nothing else will distract me, so everything else will go to the side, and it'll be one big tunnel to get to that goal. And that's I think why I think I'm so dominant about it, and I don't want anybody else to have that gold title, because, like I said, I glance at when I go to my dad's, I glance at when I go past it in the shop, and I have a smile, and like, these 2 titles are mine. Like, no one else in the world's going to get these titles off me. So
I think the reason we started working together is because we sat down over breakfast, we'd done a YouTube video, and then we'd sat down over breakfast, and the way in which you said you were going to win World's Strongest Man, like, I fully believed you. That was it. Like, I fully believed it. And then we were like, right, we'll follow you then. And I think you laid down the plan there and then, like, next year I'm going to do podium, the year after I'm going to win World's Strongest Man. And I mean, I have it on video as evidence. Like, it happened. Like, and it is. It's the journey's absolutely crazy. In fact, the one thing I wanted to touch on is those training sessions where you would say World's Strongest Man, but, like, again, I've got it on film. Like, you were holding, I think it was the hammer hold. You're holding the hammer hold out and you're screaming World's Strongest Man. Like, you remember? Have you watched the Arnold documentary where he's like, Lou Ferrigno's shouting Arnold as he's working out, and you do that whilst you're working out. You say World's Strongest Man all the time. Like, what is that doing when you're saying that?
Yeah, I think that's the thing I wanted to get a word that motivated me. I think saying other people in competitors is they're living in rent free in your head. So, like, I knew that my weaker events, like the kind of Hercules hold, that kind of stuff, I just wanted to know when it gets tough that, if I squeeze and still World's Strongest Man, that I'm just gonna, like, I'm not gonna let go. Like, I'm not gonna let go of the trophy. Like, if I had the trophy in my hand while I was doing front hold, and they said, like, if you drop that, it smashes and you've lost it. So I thought the hammer was a trophy. I was like, World's Strongest Man, World's Strongest Man, World's Strongest Man. Yeah, and I think it helped me with another 5 or 6 seconds. So yeah, these simple words like that really just help me to get motivated. I don't need anything else, like shouting all these special things. It's just literally World's Strongest Man, and then I'll hold it from a dear life. So
I think when you speak about the way you are, I feel like you simplify it, and a lot of people, maybe they associate, or maybe they think, oh, it's not a big thing. But I mean, you are literally the top of the top, like, the best in the sport, going to be one of the greatest of all time. And with the mindset element of that, I don't think people realize how elite you are. I mean, what goes through your head when you're thinking about competing? Like, what is your mindset to be the best in the world?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, my mindset's been the thing that's really struggled. Like 3-4 years ago when I met you, it was probably weaker than it was now. But it's a thing, because I do get scared when I compete. Like, sometimes I sit in my room, sit in the house and go, wow, I've got Worlds in 4 weeks, and like, this can make or break me, so. But I always just try and, with my mindset, I think the reason I'm at the top of the sport, and I think I'm so good at controlling my now is because I think I just have that balance and keep keep calm, and when I'm not in the gym or when I'm not doing anything to do with kind of lifting, I don't ever think about that. And I think that's really helped me, because 2, 3, 4 years ago even, I would wake up at say 8 AM, think about the gym, 9 think about the gym, 10 think about the gym, and it would, I think, overstimulate me, and that was a really bad thing for me, especially with autism. So I think for me now, it's kind of just learning. I've just learned to kind of, right, in the gym is when it's my job, in the business is my job, but then after that it's just concentrate on Sinead, concentrate on family, and that's helped my mindset kind of really kind of have that balance, but also not to overload it all. And I think that's really helped me to get to the elite kind of side of strength, because you see a lot of athletes online, strongman strength athletes especially, and their mindset's really, they're always saying like about, oh, I always have to think about the gym, I'm thinking about the gym 24/7. If I said that, I'd lie. Like, I think about the gym only when I'm in the gym, and I'll think about World's Strongest Man, yeah, every day, but it's written for me, and I think that's the mindset I do. Once I see that WSM on the whiteboard, I won't think about it again for the rest of the day. So it's a weird kind of mindset for myself, but it's a mindset that's helped me, and I don't think I'll ever change it. Even in the training, when I'm going into training, I mean, I don't train like a World's Strongest Man. I train like a guy that's just started out in the gym, and I'm probably like, but I only ever put 60-70% effort in it, because I believe that training, the name is in itself. Training's training. You don't ever want to perform like, if you're at the top of the sport. I'm training. I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to improve my technique, I'm just trying to maintain. So I always go about 70%. When you go to the competition, that's when you take your whole package and go, right, this is where I perform. So again, I think that having that mindset of being able to know when to kind of go up, to know when to go down, to know that when I have bad days, it's just a bad day, I'm not going weak and starting. All this kind of stuff helps being that elite kind of mindset, because when I have a bad day, I go home and go maybe think about it for 10 minutes. I'm like, geez, this has been a really bad day. But then I have to remember, it's only a bad day. Let's just wake up then tomorrow and restart fresh. So all that kind of stuff's really helped me to get to the top of the sport.
People talk about visualization like it is some kind of magic, that if I imagine money, I get money. It's not how it works. Visualization with work works. Everything that is around me, every single wall that I'm looking at, every single bit of paint, every piece of equipment that's around me, Mulligan Brothers visualized it before. I'm telling you, like, people might think that's hocus pocus, like, you just bought a camera. Is that? No, before we owned these cameras, we visualized we were gonna have them. There's a basketball court hidden behind this wall. Before that basketball court existed, before we owned this building, I visualized that we would have a basketball court. And that visualization led us to where we are today. But every single successful person that I have spoken to, and I mean every single one, has mentioned in some form visualization, whether it's from the attitude of it being a very strong belief and an image that they hold in their head, to actually using the words of visualization and manifestation. Guys, it does work. It's very important. I would suggest writing stuff down. That's how I would get into it. Today's video was made possible at mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Memento Mori poster, an interactive poster that reminds you that you're gonna die. I wake up every single morning, I see it, and it makes me realize time is so precious, and I get my butt moving. Use code STOIC at checkout for 10% off. But before that, I wanna say have a blessed and productive day. Go kill your goals, move passionately with purpose towards the direction of your goals, and I'll see you in the next one. Go inspire some change. Peace.